Actually, this is actually the second version. The first version will be tougher for you. The first version, the sentence are longer and many like phrase. So I make it very simple for you because that you'll be able to answer for your up to your level for those basic students. All right. So why I need to use Yatra? I also explain to you from the viewpoint of teacher, examiner, why I write in this way. Okay, so then you also understand the working mind of the teacher and why. What's the purpose of this question being asked? All right. So the purpose of asking this Yatra is to test whether do you know how to use the relative adverb and how does this Yatra link with Tatra. Right. So this to test your understanding whether can you see the two parts. All right. The first part Yatrate was the yum. All right. So if you are answering, you should break here. All right. When you break like here, then your mind is easier because you just need to diagnose this 1, 2, 3, and this is a part 2, second part aham tatra sayami. Right. So you know yatra should link with tatra. Right. Then yatra you should put a relative adverb here. Translate is where, because even though Pali is later adverb. Yes, English also later adverb because this is also used in a later sense in English. So they, right, they, right, normally third person plural, wasayum. And this is to test your knowledge whether are you able to understand is optative, third person plural, and verb. You can put might, may, or actually another one, should actually better. Okay. And for the answer, if you can write as much as you can, is good. Or if you cannot write as all, but minimally you should like feel like should or would or might. Maybe may we don't use it. Why we don't use it? Because may might confuse with the imperative mode, right? So might, should, would, right? So it's also like this. But if you write like this, I will know that you'll be able to spot the optative already. Okay. So optative we translate as might, should, would, or may also. Okay. If you put may, but I think I prefer not to use may because may is it look like imperative. Okay. Aham, nominative third person. I, tatra, adverb place. Demonstrative adverb sayami. All right. So this is to test your knowledge on optative, and this is to test whether you understand it's a present tense. Yes, or it can be imperative, right? So actually there are two answers here. It can be present tense or imperative. So if you're going to write only one answer, I sleep or I am sleeping or whatever, present tense, I'll still give you mark, right? But in a real exam, I will expect two answers. So if you give me one, I will minus mark because your answer is not full. All right, so I will expect to see present tense or imperative. So either two. So, okay. So you can translate. Then it also depends on how you translate. Okay. I sleep there. So for this kind of sentence, you should translate from here first. Okay. I sleep. Aham tatra there. Sayami. I sleep there. Then where? Where is relative here? They, they, what say you might, may, or should, or would, or live, dwell, stay. Either one, right? So I think this question is easy, not so difficult. So this in the terms of uh, optative. So what's the meaning of optative? Optative, in other words, they use the word potential. Potential means that there's a potential for this kind of situation to happen. Okay. Or let me lie down. May I lie down? Where they might or should or would, okay, stay. All right. So this is the imperative here. So for this kind of questions, the mark I give is 5 marks. Okay. So if you answer only, let's say out of these two, you only give me only this one, and you don't give me the imperative, because when you see this question, the first moment you thought is present tense. Okay, so you forget the imperative. So if you give me this one and you didn't give me like this, you leave out this one. So like this, I will give you maybe 4 marks, minus 1 mark because you didn't identify the imperative here. Okay. Any question? I continue. All right. Now, question number 2. This question is to test your understanding of gerund. Tua, tua, and with the past tense. All right. So te atra chore tua first gerund. Okay. De ito David tua gerund. Tatra papuninsu. All right. So this is main word. So this is a aorist third person plural. So they reach. So subject pronoun normally plural. They the atra. Okay. Sometimes I see some of the students instead of atra as here, some they translate as there. Because atra, sometimes some of the students maybe they look wrongly, they thought it's tatra. So I listed some of the answer is there, but it's not there, it's here. Okay. So the adverb place, they must say adverb. So charitra, so having stolen. So ito means the to, you can put, if you want, you can put ablative here. All right. So from here. So they having stolen from here. So because of tua here, so if you are writing the sentence, you should break like this. Okay. Then next time when you translate, easy for you. You have to translate these three first. Then ito David tua. So you break again, right? So here, they atra choitra. So they having stolen here means that they're still in this place. Then ito David tua. From here, having run from here, tatra papuninsu. So they reach there. So this kind of sentence actually it look very similar with the homework, with one of the exercises you've done before. So most of the questions, most of the students they managed to get this right. Okay. So where they made wrong, I explain to you. Okay. So this is the one. Okay. This is a past tense. All right. So the answer you should write, having stolen from here, they ran from here, they reached there. But if you're going to translate in another way, so let's say we don't want to put the having, all right? So you can put they stole. This is also made a mistake. It's not from here. It's not made a mistake here. Okay. They stole here, ran from here, and reached there. Right. So they stole here. They atra choretra. From here, ito davitua, and reach there papuninsu tatra. All right. So either you can write in this way or write in this way. But some of the students, they made a mistake. Okay. They will write like this. Okay. Having stolen from here, gerund, they write in gerund. They write, they run. Okay. This is a mistake here. Why mistake? Because the main verb, that's why I asked you to identify this as a main verb. So it's a main verb, it's a past and aorist. So this, you cannot translate as run. You must translate as you cannot translate as present tense, okay? You must translate as ran. So some of the students make mistake at this point, okay? Or some of the students, they, even though it's a past tense, they write as a reach only without the ed. So like this, if I see mistake like this and like this, I will minus mark. So let's say if out of this 5 marks, so if they want make one mistake like this or make minus, I will minus 1 mark, 1 mark, so 2 marks. Then the rest is not so bad. Okay. Yeah. So if they make a like mistake, like they didn't write ito, they didn't write from here, they write here only. So I will generally I will minus 1 mark. Okay. So any question? I continue. So now you can check with your own homework, right? So some of you, I did write some comments on your homework, on your test, all right? Not homework, on your paper that you submit to me. So be careful when you see past tense. So you must translate stole, all right? You cannot translate as steal if you want to write in this way, all right? So you cannot translate as steal. You must translate as stole. You cannot translate as run. You must translate as ran. You cannot translate as a rich. You must translate as rich with the past tense. Okay? Okay. No question? I continue. Okay. Just now, you can see it from here. You know why Sumita want to put like this? Sumita, why do you put from here? Sumita?
Sorry. Yeah, it should be having stolen here. They ran
Okay.
from here and reached there. Ito
Do
is
you
from here.
do you know why you put here? Because this sentence, because in the answer at the back of Parliament Easy is one of the homework, right? Having stolen from here. So your mind remember that sentence, right or not? Right or not?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, right. Because I noticed that you all memorize the answer. So for the exam, you memorize the answer, but the question will change. So
Yeah.
for all your
Okay.
exam, I will not
Thank
give
you.
you exactly like the back of the book, because if like this, there's no point of learning. You'll just copy and paste and memorize, all right? So be careful, because you copy from the book, so your mind remember having stolen from here, that's in the book. But in this question, there's no from, just atra. They're stolen
Yeah.
here at this place,
Yeah.
okay? So you notice this
Yes.
one mistake you make, right?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, if no question, I continue. Okay, now this one, katam tuam pachitum ichasi. All right, this question actually you cannot find in the Parliament Easy, but katam I did show in the sutta, especially in Alawaka Sutta. All right, so katam is a question. All right, interrogative adverb. You can translate how. Okay, or brother Ong he translate as why. All right, how or why or for what reason. Okay, how or why. Okay, if you also can translate why. Tuam, this is very simple. Pachitum, infinitive, to cook. Ichasi, all right? So tuam, so it's a present tense, second person singular. So very simple. How do you wish to cook? Or sometimes you can translate, oh, why do you wish to cook? So this sentence is actually, most of the people, they manage to get this one right. But some of the students, they don't know what is this katam, so they start here, right? I think who didn't answer this one? Maybe some of you. Hui Ling, did you answer this one?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you remember this, all right?
This one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it as how. I did how.
Okay, good. Because in Alawaka Sutta, we have go through a lot of this katam already, right? In Alawaka Sutta. Okay. So this question, I think most people get it right, except katam, all right? So when after you translate, you need to check your translate. So you need to check back your answer. How do you wish to cook? So basically, if, for example, I'm going to give you like in the test. Okay. Basically, let's say in a test is 2.5 hours. Okay. So basically, you need to spend at least 1.5 hours answering. Okay. And actually 1 hour checking. I mean, that's a best time, all right? So let's say it's 1.5 hours. If you have 5 questions, basically you need to spend 30 minutes, okay, for one question. So you need to budget your time, okay? And for our final exam, I will give you 3 hours. So you can spend 2 hours answering and 1 hour check, because you always make some mistake, all right? So if like this, then there will be 6 questions. So you still have 30 minutes for each question, right? So the best way is when you see this kind of question, so before you write down the answer in this way, okay, so what you do is, for example, you see this question, immediately whatever things come to your mind, you just use a pencil. Later in the exam, I will allow you to print in advance. So you just use a pencil to write down all possible answer immediately. Use 5 minutes to write all the answer first. All right. Before get stuck with the writing properly, because writing properly will take you more time and effort, right? So that's why in my exam, I always use 10 minutes to write all the answer in pencil, just below the questions. Okay, now we go through again. Okay, now okay, question number 4. Sorry. Okay, question number 4, I think most people get it right. Because this question is similar with one of the homework, right or not? Yes or? Okay. So it's very similar with the homework. So most of the people get it right, right? So tumhe, normally second person, they, ida, about place here, nisita, so the having seat. So maybe we don't use this wa, okay? Having said, ma, so it's prohibition, don or dot, rodita, so aorist, second person, plural, right? But I think some of the students, they didn't cannot identify its aorist, all right? They write something else, okay? So very simple, ma is a command, all right? So you have to, your answer should write in a command way. For example, don't cry, you all having sit here. This is a not good translation. Sorry, let me do, okay. Okay, not good translation. So if you are going to write like this, I will actually minus the mark because this translation is not good at all. Nobody will say, don't cry, you all having sat here. Nobody understand you, all right? So you say, you sit here and don't cry, okay? So it's very simple, okay? You sit here and don't cry, okay? Or if you want to write another way, after sitting here, don't cry. Do not cry also can. Do not cry. You have to put exclamation mark here, right? So I think most of you get this right. So don't translate all this. That's why you need some time to check your answer. So if your answer is not good, you need to rewrite your answer again. Okay. So if you write like this, same if this is a 5 marks question. Okay. So if you're going to write is correct, the answer all correct, but it's not good English, I will minus 1 mark. Okay.
Saji,
No. Yes.
Saji, I got a question going for here.
Yeah.
Rodita is the aorist second person plural, but when we translate it, no need to put it in a past tense.
No. Because this is a ma, you all remember ma is with imperative, right? And ma with the what another one is what?
Past
Objective,
tense.
right? Yeah. Oh, sorry, past tense, yeah. It's a aorist, okay? So all this means command. So you don't need to translate in the past tense because we are talking about present time. You are speaking to somebody, you are giving order to a child. You sit here, you don't cry. So you cannot translate as a past tense here. Okay?
So when it's a command and it happens at that time, then why is it they put it in a past tense?
No,
Is
this
that
is the
imperative?
this is just a way of Pali they write. Okay, it's not to say it's not happen in past tense. It just they use the past tense mode to explain the command. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So you cannot translate as past tense because this order is given now at this time, right or not? Means that at this time you are talking to a child. You sit here, don't cry. You are ordering a child or somebody. All right. So it must happen at this moment. So you cannot translate. So if you're going to translate, okay, after yeah, translate literally. After sitting here, what? Don't. You cannot say don't cry. If you cannot translate like this. I think some of the students translate like this. If you translate like this, also wrong in terms of English grammar.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That I was looking at it for quite some time because when I say don't, then the English is wrong already.
Yeah,
Don't
the English is wrong.
is wrong.
The
already.
English is wrong and the meaning is wrong because we are not talking something happened in the past. All right. So this is talking about the command means you give to someone. Okay. Right here at this moment. Okay. Right here at this moment.
So initially I thought the Rodita is wrong. Then I remember seeing this in the PMP lesson.
Right. Yeah. So this is one of the question, very similar to one of the question, right? The one you do before.
Yeah, I just
Okay.
just
Okay. So the purpose of this question is to test whether do you understand this way of giving command in Pali. This is to test your knowledge. All right.
Sergeant Jenny,
Yeah.
so just to confirm, so in Pali, when we give command, when we use ma, so we either use imperative or aorist, is it?
Yeah, according to Pali Made Easy, you can find the on page 16, all right, and also on the page 12, all right. So page 16 and 12. So imperative is a page. Okay, so this one is a page 12. So you all remember, right? I think I gave some discussion on this, right? On when you see some of the sutta, I did discuss about this, all right? So you have the book, you all flip to again.
So this is only solely for command.
Yeah, for ma is a command. So that's why you call it prohibition, right?
Okay,
Don't,
thanks.
all right? So you
Okay,
can see in a express a prohibition, right? So on the page number 12, imperative except prohibition, ma gacha, all right? Remember ma gacha? Okay, ma gacha, okay? Don't go, okay? Okay, so the purpose of this is test your understanding. Do you understand the purpose? How do you use this ma? All right. So it's 5 marks. So if you translate not good, our minus 1 mark. So if you translate as a past tense, so it's wrong. That means that you don't understand. I will also minus 1 mark. Because others like this, if you keep rightly, there are always some mark for your table. All right. Okay, next question. I think this question is actually easy for people because you already studied in your homework. Okay, don't come here. Right? Ma. Okay, don't. You see now. So prohibition. Come. All right. Now come to test. This question is to test that. Do you know how to use that just now? For this, you can use using the imperative second person singular because you are talking to that person, right? So agachahi or agacha, all right? So either you write this agachahi or agacha, or if you want to, so we just skip it first. Let's go for this one. Agachahi agacha, or if you want to use as the, where is it? Okay. So this is the, yeah. So if you want to use as a aorist, second person singular, then you put ma, agachi. Okay, so agachi. So maybe second person singular. Okay, so this is a. So you have to translate this one. Don't come here. So you must understand who is the subject. Subject is you. So we take it as a tuam. All right. So second person singular. Imperative or aorist, second person singular. Okay, now if you translate as plural, then either you put agachata or agachita. Agachata is the imperative second person plural, or if you want to put this one will be aorist, second person. Okay. So, but actually, out of this, if you can give me either these two, either this one or this one, okay, I think it's okay. Okay, so put here first. Okay. I'm very confused. Okay. Okay, so far any question? Now for this one, he is not here. So Ida na ati. All right, not here. Okay, na ati. Ida. So na ati, or you, if you want to combine, you put nati also can. All right. Because in many sutta we already studied the word nati. So I actually quite surprised some of the students didn't write the word nati. Or if you want to put bhawati, I think some of the students write the answer not bhawati also can, right? Because ati and bhawati same. The root is us. Okay, the root is us to be. Okay, or wu also to be. So either not ati or nati. So actually I prefer to see nati. Or so either not bhawati, right? So it's okay, you write this way. But some of the students, they write this way, right? So they write, so they put na ati ida. So they write in this way. So like this, I don't really like it because so far we already studied all the verb should be at the last place. So if they write like this, actually I will kind of like minus few marks here. Okay, because ida should be put maybe in the second place. Better put in the second place rather than put at the last place. Okay, because if you translate he's not here, ida, then you put the ida as the last place. In English, here is the last place, but in Pali, ida should not be in the last place. Okay, any questions for this? I think here I see a lot of mistake being done for this question. This question is also same to test your knowledge of the imperative with the ma, to see do you understand the function of command, because you already study in the Parliament Easy book, so you all should be able to identify this question. Okay, any question? No, right? So you all check with your own answer. Okay, all right, so no question, I'll continue. So here subject nothing, no, here ida. Okay. So for this question, I only ask you to do analysis. I didn't ask you to write the verb analysis, but some of you also write it. Okay, for example, some of you write down what is apa and gam, what is, isa and ma, all right? But it's actually not needed because the question is not said, right? So the question only asks you to analyze the sentence structure. I didn't ask you to analyze the verb. So if you're going to waste your time here, I mean, it's up to you. If you got time, you can do the analysis of the verb, but it's not asked in the question. So please read the question carefully. And if the question asks you to do analyze, and then you all didn't analyze properly, so I will minus mark. All right, so you must always read the question, okay? Now for this question, number 2. This question, I think most of you get it right. So this kind of question, we call it, it's a 5 marks here. It's a very simple question, all right? So we call it bonus question because it's actually bonus question means purposely to give you marks because this is so easy and it's similar to what you've done before. So just to give marks to you all, doing some charity here, all right? Mayam, all right? So we shall go away. Apa, this to test your understanding. Okay, so this is also to test your knowledge on prefix. Okay, the prefix apa, if you remember, we have a 20 prefix. The prefix apa means away. So if you know the word go, okay, you know shall go means gachit sama. Then you must know the prefix away. Away means apa here in Bali. All right, from here. So this also to test, do you know the how to translate ito or ato? All right, with the to here. Okay, so I think this most people get it right. Now, question number 3. Okay, I think some people also make mistake here. This is a very simple question. All right, let me stand there. So when you read this kind of question, you have to think in your mind, is it a command? All right, what kind of question is it? Is it a present tense? All right, or is it a wish? All right, some people take it as, some of the students take it as present tense. All right, so they made a mistake here because this is not present tense. Let me with the let. All right, so you should translate as what? So it's not present tense. Then this is a wish, right? It's a wish. Let me stand there. It's a wish, my wish. So if a wish, you should use imperative, right? Because when they see this me, right, with this me, me, so they thought it's a present tense. So they made a mistake. That's why you must read the question carefully, right? It's not present tense, it's imperative. It's a wish. I wish to stand there. So let me stand there. So so if you analyze, you don't put the let here, right? You put the me or I. You put the let here, okay? I, nominative first person, let stand. So it's a verb. It's an imperative first person singular. There, so it's a place. Tatra, tata, tahim. All right. Okay. So any question? You know, I continue. All right. So you must know it's a wish. Then you translate from the English. You translate to Pali. Okay, this question, I think a lot of people make some mistakes, right? So after buying from there, this one is not difficult because you saw this pattern, this phrase in one of the homework there, right? So after buying, kini tua. So when you see the comma, every time when you see a comma, you should break, right? So you should translate this part first, all right? So after buying, all right, with the tua, kini tua, from there, so tato, right? Now, you, right? You is a second person singular, should not stay here. So for this question, you have to think, right? So some they put as optative, some they translate as imperative. It can be two also. It also depends on how we see this. So we have to analyze this. This kind of question, what do you think? Is it a optative mode or is it a imperative mode? Imperative means it's a command here. You should not stay there. It also depends on how we say. If we say very seriously, you should not stay there. We say very firmly, very strongly, it's a command. But if we say you should not stay there, our voice is very soft and gentle, it becomes optative, right? So it depends on translate, okay? Right. So now, if you are going to translate with the command here, then you use the imperative, right? Ma, wasahi, or wasa, imperative second person singular. Or if you want to translate as plural, you put also ma, wasata, right? It's a command. But if you're going to write as a, if you're going to write as an optative here, you cannot put ma, right? Because ma is to do, we already say the ma is I just now. Ma is an imperative or aorist, all right? So you cannot use the ma here. So either you can put na here, okay? Na. Then you should not stay na. it's not a command here, it's just kind of like option. All right, or not here. Okay, so this is a little bit tricky here. I would say this question is a little bit tricky. Okay, any question? All right, all understood, right? Okay. And this is also stay, all right? So stay is a wasa, all right? So from here, for this point, you need basically actually like wasati. All these are very simple vocabulary that you should have, right? Wasati, charati, pasati, all these are very simple because in most of the Pali grammar book, there will be this one. So basically, you should be able to know wasati means stay, and you already, I think, learned on the first lesson already, right? First or second lesson got this wasati. Yeah, okay. So in Pali Meiji, wasati is the first verb in the first lesson. So you should be able to say wasati. But some of the students also write wrongly. Instead of wasati, they write something else. Okay. Some they write wapati. Why? Because they forget the S, they change it to P. So this is also one mistake that students make, right? Okay. No question, I continue. Okay. Question C actually is very simple. First, you need to read the question carefully. Like you need to state what type of verb. This means that I don't tell you it's an optative or is it aorist or is it imperative or gerund. So you need to tell me, and you need to tell the English meaning, and you need to here at this point I ask you to do the verb analysis. So in the first question, part A, part B, I didn't ask you to do. So if you do in the part A, part B, there will be no extra mark also. So don't waste your time, all right, doing the verb analysis on the part A and B. Only at part C, I start to ask you, all right? So some of the students, I think like they run away after 1 hour. I don't know why they are so rushed, want to finish the exam so fast. They didn't write the meaning at all. So they lost mark here. Okay, so please check the question. That's why I say when you finish, you should give yourself at least another half an hour or 1 hour to go back and look at the question carefully. All right. So what you do is when every time you see this kind of question, you remember there are 3 things that you should do. All right. The first thing that you should do is type of verb. You should write on a pen or later in the exam you can print out. All right. So you put number 2 and then number 3. So for this question, for each of the verb here, there should be 1, 2, 3 answer. So this means that 3 marks for one verb, one word here. Okay. So for example, waseyum, if you don't tell me, I think most of you do tell me optative, third person plural. Okay. But some of you never tell me the meaning. Okay. Some of you never tell me the meaning. So they leave the meaning empty. So when I write like this in your paper means that you don't write the answer. So like this, you lost 1 mark. Okay, so you need to tell me what is the type of verb and then the meaning, the word that should, might, live, or dwell. All right, so like this is okay. And the analysis was and are and wasati. Okay, like this is okay already. Okay, but this is also we call it extra thing, you know, because I didn't ask you to do wasati. All right, so if you write a this, actually sometimes it might make me confused. So just be careful, don't give the teacher or examiner confusion, because I didn't ask you to do wasati. You should not write this, you know. If you write this, you're going to make me very confused. Okay, you should write here, your answer should be this one. Okay, so either you look was minus the a or a, like this is very easy. So even if you don't write like this, you just write the, just make a cross. All right, so I understand that you minus the a. All right, that is enough. So don't give me extra answer. So all these answers are wasting your time and wasting my time also. All right, because I don't ask you to do wasati, I ask you to do waseyum. All right, Sumita. So that's why some of you look very
Thank you.
tired.
Noted.
Yeah, because I think you all write too much extra, right? Okay. So I don't even ask you to write what is verbal base, all right? So I just ask you, you can just very easy. You put was plus ayom was ayom, all right? Or you want root, you actually should show the root first. Root plus a, okay. Then become wasa, okay? Right, then plus the ayom, okay? From here, you just minus, okay? Then what's ayom, right? Like this is very simple. This kind of question here actually is a kind of like bonus question because I will give you lots of marks here if you do it rightly. All right. But the problem is I think some of you didn't do it properly. And this question number 2, apa gacha? A lot of students make mistake here. Because when they see there's no T, no NT, no Isami, Isati, there's no tu. So when they expect to see T, all right? So they didn't see T. They expect to see Isati. They also didn't see this, so they get confused. They expect to see like two or whatever. So like apa gacha? I think most of students make some mistake here. So they forget it's an imperative, second person singular. This is a short form, right? Okay, it should be the long one will be apa gacha hit. Okay. So the answer is you go away. All right. So please don't write this kind of answer because it's not asked in the question at all. Right. So very simple. You should just write apa plus gum become ga plus a, and then the is actually a hit. You know, the final one is a hit. Okay. But anyway, like this, I understand that you understand that there's a prefix, there's a root change to ga, conjugation is a, and then the final is a hit. All right, a hit. For a hit, you minus the hit. If you want, you can just drop this one. All right. Then you got the apagacha. Okay. So this kind of question, please remember, I like to ask this one, one of my favorite questions. All right. So NCD. All right. So the type is aorist, second or third person singular. So you sit down or he or she sit down, all right? So yeah, okay, you got the type of verb, you got the meaning, and don't show like this. It's like I say, it's confused, all right? I'm not asking you to show the nisidati. So you should just show ni plus sat, change it to sit plus I. That's all, very simple, okay? So, okay. Or if you want to put the verbal base also can, yeah. But I think this like this, I understand that you know there's a prefix, there's a root, the root change, and then the verbal termination is it, okay? Or if you want to do it long way, you can put like ni plus the start become a sit, and then the conjugation sign, and then you have the ni sit da, which is the verbal base, and then you put the I. This one, if you want to show this way also can. Then you just minus here, all right? So you don't need to write A is drop or whatever. It take time. You just show me like this, is understand already. But if you got time, you want to write A is drop, is okay, no problem. Now, the question number 4, all right? I think people lost smart here because this one can be present tense. It also can be past tense, all right? And it might be, I would say it might be optative. It might be, so not so clear unless we do the whole Tipitaka, all right? So, okay. So I don't want this one. So we see, okay. Now, how you're going to show it's a present tense, all right? So very simple. You just show me that this plus the A plus the C, all right? So it's a they say sit. So present tense, second person singular. Or If you want to show it past tense, this plus A plus the S insertion plus I. So you got the D, say, C. So it's the aorist, second person. You can do the third person singular or second person singular. Okay, like this, I understand that you know. Okay, some they say it might be optative, but I think most people will not write as optative. So I think we just leave it. All right. So present tense, or if you want to write in this way, present tense, present emphatic, present continuous also can. You preach, you to preach, you are preaching. Okay. Do you know that, Brother Ong? Do you know that some of the students are very hardworking? They give me all these answers, Brother Ong. Brother Ong, he didn't write some of the meaning here. Okay. All right. Some they say this plus A, C. All right. They say C, then your short form is A. All right. But I'm not so sure here, so I put question mark here. Okay. So I just check a Tipitaka, right? So for this, in the every second person, you can find this. They say C, right? I later I'll share with you this one. If you're interested, you can look at it. And then the blessed one, preach the Dharma. So it's Aries, the person singular. All right. So this extra mark, you can look at it, extra point. Okay, now for the question number 5. This is a very simple because you saw in the chapter 9, but a lot of people make mistake here. Because when they see this boat with the O here, they get blur. They don't know what is the root. All right. So very simple. Wood plus tum. And then U change to O, and then J change to K. Right. Actually, then there are some changes here. So there are actually a lot of changes here. K and T then become TT. Doesn't matter. So if you don't know J change to K, doesn't matter. But at least you can show me it's a wood plus tum. So infinity, the meaning is to eat. All right. So this one, I think I see some of the answer here like this. So don't write like this. It's very confusing for me. And you also don't need to show there's a nya in between, right? Because there's no nya here, even the root, right? The root is boot, all right? So for this kind of case, we can say sometimes there's a boot, or after you put the boot plus M, there might be the BHU, yeah, all right? So, but you don't need to use this. You just need to use this one because we say boot plus tum, right? So you don't need to put this with the nya here, and then this one, and then nya, like she write nya, and then change it, and then the what n and nya is dropped. This is too complicated. So the answer is very simple. Use this root, all right? Boot plus tum, not this bunch plus tum. I think so far only one of students use this one. Okay, so to eat, the root the meaning is infinity, the meaning is to eat, and then the analysis is like this. I think that's enough. So this question is actually very easy to do. Number 5. All right, so you can just do some lessons here. Okay, so question number D. All right, so there will be 6 marks here. All right, 6 marks. Because there are 3 questions. So you have to write infinity and gerund Pali. All right. I think most of the students managed to get number 2, number 3 right. Some, they didn't get the first one right because they forget what is to sell. They only remember to buy. Hui Ling, remember? Hui Ling? You don't write what is sell. You forget what is sell.
Yeah.
Okay. I think most people remember the kinati. So to buy. So suddenly, if I ask you, actually the sell is one of the questions on the lesson 9, I think. Yeah, lesson 9 on this cell also. So this question, I don't show any Pali word here. So this to test your vocabulary, all right? So you need to write down yourself in Pali. So if I'm going to show you write the infinity of like this Viki Nati. This is very simple. If I write in this way, and like this, I already give you the Pali vocabulary. So I don't want to do it in this way because this is too spoon feed. So this purposely to test you how much do you remember the vocabulary. But the one I give you is very easy. You already see in the lesson 1, 2, 3. So wapitum from the word wapati, all right? From the wapati, you got this. So you should be able to do this because this is a very simple one. Only the first one, purposely, I make it difficult for you, all right? So just to test how much you understand the Pali words. So kalitum or katum, wapitum or wapitua, kalitua or katua, right? And this one is katum, all right? Why? Because you have the car, and then a car, you drop the r, so become ka, all right? And tum. Okay. When this question is asked, I don't ask you to do any verb analysis. So you don't need to show me because you were wasting your time. I only ask you to write infinity and gerund. Okay. So please don't write extra thing because you will not get extra marks here. Okay. So out of this, let's say got two answers here. Like this, you have two answers. Wikinitum or wiketum, wikinitua or wikiniya. Here the ya suffix because there's a prefix v. So when there's a prefix, you can put the ya suffix, or there's a tua suffix, okay? So either these two, if you can give me one, I will give you 1 mark, all right? So of course, if you do right wrongly, I will minus some mark, that's all. Okay. Now the E actually is very easy. The question E actually is basically just to see if you know how to write conjugation, right? So I already give you the word, right? That's the thing. So this already added. So instead of, if I don't give you like this, I will ask you he expound. If I write like this, then you need to remember the Pali vocabulary. What is the expound? But since I already give you, so actually I would say you already, most of you will get lots of good marks here. Okay, so you just remember, they say ya, they say yum, they say ya si, they say ya ta, they say ya mi, they say ya ma. Some of you never remember, you have to put long A here, long A here. And there are some possible, I would say possible. If you drop the AI, you have the they say, but actually you don't have this they say. So some people write they say is wrong already. Because the meaning of they say is a location of this desa. Okay. So if you see, all right. So if I see like this, I think I'm basically I don't like it because the meaning is no more objective. It's a place here. So this one with the short form, they say si, they say ta, they say mi, they say ma, maybe acceptable. All right. But if you just give me like this, I think I will be happy already. So I think this is not needed. So we can just cancel off. Okay. Because it doesn't look like objective to me also. Yeah. Okay. And you need to write the meaning. If you look at this question carefully, their first part, you need to write the conjugation, first, second, third person. I write carefully because if I don't write like this, some of you might not give me this 6, all right? And the second part is you need to give me the meaning. I think some of you, those who are very rushing after one of their left, they don't give the meaning, all right? Okay, so if they don't give proper meaning, they will minus mark here. Okay, now next one also easy. This one is to test your knowledge on aorist, and this is test your knowledge on imperative. So, akini, akininsu, akinin. This one you saw in Pali-Discussion. Akino, akini, akinita. Akinim, akinimha, akinima. All right, so this is not difficult. Wasati will be wasatu, wasantu, wasa, wasahi. I think most people, they might remember this wasahi, but they don't remember this wasa. So, but in the sutta, we already see many this short form. So if you don't give me this wasak, you only give me wasahi, basically I'll minus 1 mark, because this one is important, like apa gacha, without the heat. Because in the sutta, we always use this like gacha, wasak, all this short form here. Okay, so remember, next time if I ask this question, please give me 2 form. If not, I'll minus 1. Okay, finish. All right. Okay, so how you feel? Right. Those who sit for the test or exam.
Sagi, can you see the last one, the wasami? You have to write so long, the answer. Can't you just put by the side, bracket it and finish off?
Yeah. Okay, you
When you
can
put
write
first
here.
person, second person, third person, you finish all the time.
Yeah, that's why some of them are very hardworking. So basically, you just write how you write this one. Okay, you can write let, may. What is another one? So may they stay. Okay, you can just write like this.
Yeah, I think this should be enough lah. Answer.
Yeah, stay. You don't need to give me leave or dwell, but I will answer you should let or may, these two, because let is a command. May is a wish. All right. May I stay, like may you be well and happy. May you be well and happy is a, how you call it? It's not a command. It's a wish. Okay. All right. So if you don't want to write all this so long, but at least you should put like, basically just put the bracket and write the answer. Okay. Very simple. It saves your time also. All right. I think some of you write too long. It's even like I look at all your homework. All your homework, some of your homework, you give me how many? 16 pages. Brother Ong, you know they gave me 16 pages, no?
I
How
think
many?
it's a case of kiasu, no?
No kiasu. They are very hardworking, but it gives them a very good
I don't agree.
foundation.
I say the kiasu, you must cover everything.
How about Wong? Do you think you are kiasu? Hui Ling, are you kiasu?
Nobody mentioned. Nobody
Brother,
mentioned names.
Brother
No,
Ong,
no.
don't mind
Ah.
telling you, I do it very detailed so that this time I just refer to my own notes and I know why I use this, why I use that. That's all.
Okay. They make it
For
as
my own
reference for
record.
themselves, for their
Yeah.
own record, right?
Correct.
So they want to do it thoroughly at the first place, right or not? So in future, when they come back to lesson like this, Pali Made Easy or any grammar book, they already prepare. I would say lay a very good foundation. All right. Okay. So it's also how I study Pali. When I study Pali, I study thoroughly. I study thoroughly. That's why I'll be able to teach you all. You know, if I never study Pali thoroughly, how do I going to answer all your questions, right or not? Okay. So, but don't give me the answer too short also not good. When the answer is too short, that means that you are either very lazy or whatever. Don't know how to describe you all. The answer too short also not good. Too long is good, but not in the exam, because you will make yourself very tired. That's in my, let's say if next exam will be 3 hours, you minimally you have to finish 2 hours and test and give yourself at least 1 hour to check your answer again. Okay. So how to do it smart? All right. The first thing I will say, so for any future exam, I will give you the answer over WhatsApp. You can print, no problem. Okay. You print when you see the question. The first thing that when you see the question, use a pencil or pen, whatever, quickly write whatever answer come to your mind on the top of the question. Just write down. Okay. Because your first instinct may be right. Okay. And then, like, for example, you see this one, they say it. Okay, you know it's a present tense or imperative. So you write down imperative, just a short IMP or optative, whatever. So that's how you output whatever possible answer from your head to the paper. Then you don't feel so tired. Because after you write for 1 hour, I'll tell you, your brain would actually will be jammed. Because first you write, your hand very tired, and then your mind also get very tired. So you cannot process, the mind is no more fresh. All right. So the first moment when you get the paper, you should output whatever possible answer on the question paper. That's how I do for all my exams. And I don't write down straight away, because write down for 3 hours is very tiring. So I spend at least 10 minutes, process the questions, look at the question carefully. Like just now, you see the question. Some of the question, you need to set the verb. You need to tell the meaning. You need to do the verb analysis. There's 3 parts, so you must write down 1, 2, 3. So this examiner asks you to answer in three way, or there must be 3 parts in your answer. So some of you lost mark because I tell you to write the meaning, you never write the meaning. That's why, like I think Brother Kau, you remember? I think you lost mark at you didn't write the meaning at certain part, right? Brother Ong also. Okay. And some of you didn't look at the question carefully. For example, the question, let me stand there. Let me stand there. It's a wish. It's not a command. It's a wish. But some translate as a present tense. So you also make a mistake here. It's not a present tense. Let me stand there. It's a wish. Let me stand at this place. I wish to stand there. So look at the question. Is it a command? Is it a wish? Because up to this basic level, you learn how many types of verb already. How many? You all remember?
6.
Okay, so what are 6? Present tense,
Past tense,
past tense,
optative, imperative,
optative,
gerund,
imperative, gerund, okay,
infinitive.
infinitive, all right. Okay, so within these 6, in the exam, they will test you on these 6. So type of verbs, and then also, so far you have not learned the declension. So in future, I will test you on declension, right? Like Budo, you write down all the declension for Budo. But I will not, for example, I'll give you a new Pali word, like it either cover in your sutta or cover in your Pali magazine. I give you like Palam. I don't tell you it's a neuter, but you need to decline neuter. So I will give you a word Pali. Then according to whatever knowledge you have on Pali magazine or sutta, you need to fix it whether it's masculine, then you decline. You write the declension in masculine, or is it neuter? You need to write neuter. All right. So this is to test how much do you really understand the Pali. This how they test in our school, in our university. So for us, pass the diploma, there's no open book. Really test, you know. That's how a lot of foreign students like us, like me, stay in my university due to Pali, due to Abhidhamma. Due to this reason, because we can get more knowledge when we study Pali and Abhidhamma in the university like this in Myanmar. Okay, it's a government university. That's the reason a lot of students stay, because the Pali teacher is actually very good. You know, the way I teach you all is actually like what he share his knowledge with us. Okay, with other students. Okay, now you all understand the experience of sitting for test. And also please, like I say, read the question carefully. Don't write unnecessary thing. If I don't ask you to write in present tense, don't write present, because I just asked you to do verb analysis for this optative or for this imperative. Then you just write imperative or optative, all right? I think most of you get it right, except I think Sumita, all right? Don't write too much. You make yourself tired. And also unnecessarily, because sometimes if you write too much, the examiner like me, on that day I had to check 17 paper at one time. All right. So if I go to check 17 paper, my eyes also get blur, right or not? So I might also see wrongly. Okay. So please don't write unnecessary things. And also one thing, make sure your handwriting neat and tidy. Okay. I think most of you are okay, but at least one or two look like we call it spider crawling here and there. So it's very tiring for me. Okay. And also, Brother Ong, remember for the real exam, you need to sit in front of a computer that can turn on the video. Okay.
Yeah, try.
All right. And also, for the student, you all need to position your computer or whatever, so I can see you writing, like Jenny or Brother Kau do it on that day. Right? They did on that day. It's very nice. I can see them writing. Okay. Now during on the day, I think I only see your face or half of your face. So because we are doing online exam, so we need to have some standard, right? Because after that, I will take the screenshot. I will show people, oh, that's how the student in Agachala International College are taking the real exam. Okay, so we need to maintain some standard because this online exam. It's also impossible for me I can fly to Malaysia, but you all are from different places. So I cannot ask from the JB one or to go to KL or Penang one or to go to KL just to simply to take for exam. So we can do it online. So we make it, but we try to make it more professional. All right. Okay.
Saiji,
Right.
yes.
Yes.
You say next time, I mean future, you're going to have a more thorough, more answer for the question.